Hey folks, welcome back to another video of the Flutter Development course brought to you by Newton School. My name is Harsh Kumar Khatri and I am currently working as a Flutter developer at Alihoop, Sweden, and I have worked as an intern at Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Apart from that, I have also worked as a Flutter developer intern at a firm named AppScript, and I am also an educator and instructor on Udemy and Edunix, where my Flutter development courses have more than 40,000 plus enrollments, so you can check them out as well. Now talking about what Newton School is. So Newton School basically is a platform that helps you to learn and develop the skills that you need for your best tech career. They have courses specifically designed for freshers, working professionals, and for women with no prior experience in tech. Newton School first trains you for 6 months and helps you become a full stack developer. They are also having a tie-up of more than 300 plus great companies who hire directly from Newton School. So once your training is complete, Newton School ensures that you are placed with one of the best companies in the country. They are also having a pay after placement program where you don't have to pay anything to Newton School until and unless you are placed with a minimum CTC of 5 lakh rupees per annum. So that's pretty exciting. Apart from that, they are also having another amazing initiative known as Launchpad, where they are providing you with some of the courses for free of cost, and you can complete those courses and learn the skills which are taught in them. Along with that, you'll also be getting a certificate of completion. That's another amazing thing which they are doing for you free of cost. So make sure to check out Newton School and Launchpad through the link given in the description. Now coming towards what would be covered in this video. So in this video, I'll be talking about or will be showing you the implementation of Google sign-in and sign-out feature which you can implement inside our Flutter application. So initially, I'll be talking more about the setup things which you need to do inside your Firebase console to implement the feature. And in the later part of this video, I'll be showing you the implementation and we'll be continuing with the previous app. So earlier we added the email sign in and sign out inside that app. So if you haven't checked that out, then make sure to check out the previous video as well. Apart from that, we'll be continuing in the same and we'll be adding another screen where we'll be implementing the Google sign-in authentication as well. So make sure to watch the video until the end, and let me open the dashboard from here and let me start with the implementation. So you can see over here that I have already added an Android project over here. If you don't know how you can add your Android project directly inside your dashboard, so you can check out my previous video or previous video where I have displayed or I have showed you the complete setup or like complete walkthrough for the Firebase console. And in the previous video, I have shown you how you can add the project over here and how you can set up the Google services.json file and all the code which is needed to be added inside the build.gradle file. So you can check the videos. These will be mostly available in the playlist or in the link would be in the description. So make sure to check them out. Now coming towards the authentication part. So I'll be clicking over here. And from this authentication, I'll be going inside the sign-in methods. So for me, like it's showing disabled over here because I tried enabling it and then I disabled it. But for you, when you'll be clicking on this add new provider, it will be showing Google over here. Once you'll be clicking it from there, it will be providing you with this particular screen. It would be the same screen which would be provided for you. When you'll be clicking on this enable from here, it will be asking you to choose a support mail for this particular Google sign-in. When you'll be clicking on it, it would be providing you with the default email for this particular email ID with which you have logged in inside your Firebase console. You can select that from over here. Herein you can see that we are required to add this IDs and the web SDK configuration if we are using the Google sign-in inside our web project. But I will not be doing this as we'll be adding the SHA key over here in the later part. So I'll be clicking on save from here directly. And once this loading will be completed, it will be providing me with a pop-up or with a dialog which will be saying me that I need to configure the SHA certificates over here inside my project. So I'll be clicking on done for now. And after that, I'll be clicking over here in the settings and would be moving towards the project setting. Herein you can see that we are provided with the project details, but inside the SHA certification fingerprints, you can see that it is not showing anything. So we need to generate the SHA key over here, and later on we need to add the SHA key inside these inside over here. And once we have added the SHA key over here, we can then start with the implementation of Google sign-in inside our project. That is the code part. So let's generate the SHA key at first. So for generating the SHA key, what you need to do is you need to create a Flutter project and later on open the Android directory of that Flutter project inside your file explorer. So I'll be doing the same and later on switching the screen as well. So from here you can see that I have opened the project, that is the Android app directory. From here inside this particular file explorer, I'll be going back to the project. We'll be clicking on this Android directory. And here you can see that I have all the files, that is the app directory, Gradle directory, build.gradle, Gradle W, etc. So we are concerned about this Gradle W. So you can see that we are having this Gradle W available. I'll be clicking on this tab from here and will be typing cmd such that the command prompt opens for us inside this particular directory. Let me zoom it a bit. So here you can see that the command prompt has opened for us, and here you need to enter a command which will be providing you with the SHA key from here. So for the command you have to type over here that GRADLEW, that is Gradle W space signing report. R should be capital. Once you will be typing that and will be hitting on the enter button, it will be starting the daemon for you and will be running some part over here. You just need to wait patiently and it will be providing you with the SHA1 and SHA256 key over here. So let's wait until this is completed. So you can see over here that the build is successfully completed in 38 seconds and we are provided you with the SHA1 and the SHA256 key. So you can see the profile unit test key is available, release unit test key, debug unit test key. So all of these are similar over here only. You can copy any of these. So I'll be copying my key from here and will be going back to the dashboard. We'll be pasting the key inside this by clicking the add fingerprint. So by mistake I have copied the MD5 key. I need to copy the SHA1 key. Copying it, selecting and pasting. So you can see that it has automatically identified it as a SHA1 key. Clicking on save. Next I need to add the SHA256 key as well. So you can see over here that it is providing me that an OAuth 2 account already exists for me inside another package name. So let me copy the SHA256 key as well and paste it over here. And I'll try pasting the SHA1 key again. So for me, like, it is showing me an OAuth 2 client already exists error over here. So I need to resolve this error. But for you, if you are adding the SHA key for your very first project, then it won't be providing you with error like this. I'll be making another video on how I resolve this error. So make sure to check that out. For you, it will be providing you with no errors over here, and it will be adding the SHA1 key as well, like it has added the SHA256 key. So directly, once the key is added, you can directly move towards the authentication. And from here you can see that the sign-in is already enabled for you. Now the next part which remains for this particular video is that we need to add the code for the sign-in of Google. So we need to add the Google sign-in inside our Flutter project. That is the code part. So let me pause the video and let's get started with the code so that we can implement the Google sign-in and sign-out feature inside our Flutter application. So I'll be pausing the video over here and we'll be continuing with the app in which we have already implemented the email sign-in and sign-up feature. So yeah, let's start with that. So here you can see that I have switched my screen and I've opened the app which we were working on in the previous video. So in the previous video I have shown you how you can implement the email and password sign in and sign up inside your Flutter application and how you can check if the user is logged in. Along with that, I have also told you about the implementation of the sign out functionality, clicking which the user would directly sign out from the app. And in this video I'll be showing you the implementation for the Google sign-in, the theoretical part or the dashboard part for which I have already explained you. So let's jump to the code and let's start implementing the Google sign-in screen as well. So for that I'll need to create a new file with the name of Google sign-in screen _ sign-in _ screen dot. And herein I need to import material.dart at first. We also need to add another package inside our pubspec.yaml file which will be basically for the Google sign-in, so or Google authentication. So I'll be going on Google, we'll be typing Google sign _ in. I need to add package as well. Clicking on the first link, copying the code under the installing and pasting it over here. And this will be fetching that particular package for us. So until that is being fetched, let's get back to our file and add a stateful widget over here. So stf stateful Google sign in screen. One mistake which a lot of people make over here is that when they are creating a Google sign in screen, so they directly name it as Google sign in, which is a wrong thing, because from that Google underscore sign underscore in package, you will be getting the Google things or the things related to the Google authentication as Google sign in. That would be overriding the things which are available by your class. So make sure not to name it as Google sign in, because I have also messed the things up and have spent countless hours fixing these errors. Although like it was not a big error, but yeah, you are not provided with any information regarding the same as well. So make sure to avoid this particular thing. And as this is fetched over here, we can now start with the implementation of the screen, for which I need to create a variable at first. So that would be a is loading variable having the initial value as false. And after that, inside this build, I can return a container directly, or I can return the widget on the basis of this is loading variable which we have created. So exclamation is loading, which is when this particular condition would be accordingly checked. If we are having the value of is loading as true, this exclamation would be making its value as false, and accordingly we will be returning the things from this ternary operator. So for this first condition we need to create a widget, but for the second condition we will be returning a container which will be having a child as a text, and this text would be having or we can just directly return a circular progress indicator inside a center widget. So circular progress indicator. And for the second condition we need to add the widget over here, for which I'll be adding a particular container which will be having a child as an elevated button having an on pressed, and apart from that it will be having a child as well, and this child will be basically a text widget which will be saying sign in with Google. We can add some styles to it, but I am skipping that part because we generally don't need a style for this particular thing, or we can just continue without style as well. The only thing which we need to focus on is the on press property for it. So I need to add an async at first, because each of these operations which are related to the authentication part takes some times, and it would stuck your app if you are not adding the async and await thing over here. As soon as you are clicking on this particular elevated button, it should set the state of is loading variable to true. The next thing it will be doing is it will be creating an instance for the Firebase services, which will be a class which we will be creating. Or what I can do is I can just create that class at first. So outside of this Google sign in which we have Google sign in screen which we have created, I will be creating another class with the name of Firebase service, and herein we will be having two variables. One is for the authentication and one is for the Google sign in. So the first one would be Firebase auth underscore auth equals to Firebase auth dot instance, and the second one would be for Google sign in underscore Google sign in. Next we'll be creating another function which will be having a return type as future string, and string could be nullable. The name of it will be sign in with Google having an async, and inside this we'll be having a try catch block as we had inside the email and sign in authentication part. So adding it over here as well. Now for the try, what I can do is I can first print out the messages if we are getting some Firebase authentication, or I can directly go back to the login screen or sign up screen where we have added these particular conditions, and I can copy them from there. I don't think we'll be needing the weak password or that thing, so I can just avoid it. And if we are getting any Firebase authentication exception, so I can print that out directly, Firebase auth exception, and we can print out e.message. And inside the try block we need to add the Google sign in authentication part. So final Google sign in account nullable would be equal to Google, or the name of it would be Google sign in account, and it will be awaiting underscore Google sign in. That's the variable which we have created above, dot sign in. So sign in is a function which is available inside it, that will be launching the screen which will be showing you with all the email IDs which are available for you to sign in from. And the next thing we'll be having is the Google sign in authentication part. So final Google sign in authentication, having the name as same, and it will be equal to, or it will be awaiting Google sign in account. That's the thing which we have created above. So Google sign in account null check authentication, and after that we'll be having the credentials from the auth credentials. So final auth credential will be equal to Google auth provider. So that's the provider from Google, and all the code which I am adding over here is not something which I am making up. It's just the boilerplate code which is available, which anyone can add and implement the things inside your app. It could be Flutter, React Native, iOS, Swift, any of your apps accordingly. And we are having a credentials method inside it where we can pass the access token, which would be from the Google sign in authentication dot access token, and we can pass the ID token as well, which will be equals to Google sign in authentication dot ID token. And once we have passed this, we can call the sign in credentials inside through this authentication. So underscore auth, we can call sign in with credentials with the help of this. So I'll be adding an await statement, underscore auth dot sign in with credentials, and the credentials would be equal to what we have added above. So credential only, and this completes the sign in part of the Google sign in thing which we are trying to implement. Next we need to add the sign out as well. So I'll be adding a function which would be returning future void nullable data, or void won't be nullable, so let's keep it void only. And we'll be having sign out from Google, having async again, and awaiting underscore Google sign in dot sign out, and await underscore auth dot sign out. And this completes this part as well. Now inside this set elevated button where we have this particular set state setting the value of is loading as true, we can now initialize a Firebase service as I was speaking about it initially. So Firebase service it will be equal to Firebase service only, and herein we'll be having a try and catch block now. And inside this try we'll be calling the await services dot sign in with Google. So await Firebase service dot sign in with Google, and this will be initiating the sign in for us and would be displaying us with the particular screen where we have all the email IDs which we have signed in with inside our mobile. And that's basically the Play Store or the Google services which we are having or which we are using. And inside this catch block we can check if the errors are related to Firebase auth exception, then we can print them out. So basically adding that over here. On Firebase auth exception, and I need to import it as well. We can just directly print the things out. So print e.message, and this completes our this screen as well. For the UI, it's not responding for now, and it should be functional by now. And we need to add the things inside this particular home page as well, because without that we won't be able to navigate to our home page screen. So changing this to Google sign in and replacing this sign out as Google sign in screen, saving it. Now when I'll be clicking on the Google sign in screen, you can see that it is displaying us with a very big button, but yeah, we can keep it as it is for now. But before that, let's check if we are having any user signed in or not. So clicking this, we are getting the current user is null. Now let's go to the Google sign in and click on this particular button. It is showing us with the circular progress indicator, and now once this the things are loading, it is providing us with an option through which we can add an account inside this phone. So basically this is an emulator, so I don't have any email ID added over here. So it will be checking the info and it will be providing me with an option through which I can add a particular Google account inside this, and this account will be used for all the Play services, Play Store and all the Google services inside this phone. And later on, once we have logged in with that account, we can use that account to log in inside the app as well, or we can directly add an account from the option which was provided to us as well. So here you can see that you are provided with an option to sign in inside this, and or if you are like not having an account, or then you can create an account from here as well. So this is the particular thing which I have shown you inside this video, basically the implementation of Google sign in inside this particular app. So we have done, or we have covered that particular thing in this video. So yeah, this was pretty much it for this video. If you have got to learn something new from this video, then make sure to drop a like, comment down what you got to learn from this video and what you are willing to see in the upcoming videos. Share this video with the people in your community who want to learn Flutter, and subscribe to the channel to get all the latest updates related to the Flutter development course being posted, a new video for which is being posted every alternate day. And yeah, this was pretty much it for this video. I'll be seeing you in the next one.